What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And guys, for today's video I have several quite interesting news. First of all, I will show you a recap of Wes Christian interview, and I have to admit that on the one hand it is quite interesting interview, but on the other hand I'm disappointed with this interview because well, I will explain you all the details within just several minutes. Then I will continue with the news from our 1209 community. We have another update and another potential deadline for response in one of these cases. On top of that, I will show you some details about the bigger picture of the retail battle, and I will show you the fight against the so-called FOIA requests. Not against them, but the fight of our community members who try to find the sensitive information that might help us to see the breakthrough in our case. And before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. And I want to begin today's video with this repost that was made by Anna. She reposted her own tweet that she wrote on May 31st. And it is the tweet, basically it is a so-called protection of Anna, because she thinks that her life and the life of her relatives are in danger. And that is why, guys, she published this tweet that she's not a suicidal. And I have, basically, as you can see, I reposted this tweet and liked it because for me, it doesn't cost basically anything to just click these two buttons, but for Anna it might mean a lot. And despite the fact that I don't agree with her opinion for 100%, but guys, the life is priceless, and that is why we have to protect our lives and our health by any means. And this is my personal point of view. So let's take a look at another tweet that was published, that was reposted by Anna, and that was published originally by Kristen Shaughnessy. 10 hours ago she wrote, "Why won't Forbes even mention MMTLP or market manipulation accusations FINRA is accused of ignoring? Instead we get paragraphs about what FINRA claims to be, but it's really none of that." Here is the direct speech. In response to the mounting scrutiny, FINRA has defended its long-standing role in the financial ecosystem. For 85 years, FINRA, the private self-regulator of broker-dealers, has protected investors, promoted market confidence, and safeguarded market integrity at zero cost to the American taxpayer. A spokesperson for the organization told Forbes, "They underscored FINRA's model, which allows it to keep pace as capital markets constantly evolve, by taking input from all market participants. FINRA licenses and oversees 628,000 brokers and 3,300 firms, including Charles Schwab, Merrill Lynch, and Fidelity. It has 4.3 thousand employees and a budget, mostly funded by its members, of $1.5 billion, rivaling the SEC's 5,000 employees and $2.2 billion budget, sent in Doge to settle the trades." And guys, she refers to the article that was published just recently, and she put all the links and screenshots of this article in her tweet. And I want to tell you that yes, she asked, by the way, guys, let me show you that she was also she attended the interview that was made by Kevin Malone just several hours ago. And you can see that it was a space call, and let me quote it for you. The title of the space call: "Tonight's show with Wes Christian, Kristen Shaughnessy, and Ham Short Killer." And guys, yes, Kristen Shaughnessy pointed to the problem of to the general problem of entire retail community of naked shorts. And to be honest, it is quite interesting interview. You can see that it is not so long, about 1 hour long audio, but well, it has an awful an awful audio, and I have to admit that in general, yes, if you don't know anything about short positions, naked short positions, it might be quite useful for you to listen to this podcast. But at the same time, guys, I'm disappointed about this space call because well, if I heard it correctly, there was only 2 mentions of MMTLP on 40th minute and on 49th minutes, and to be honest, it wasn't a deep dive into MMTLP problem and the current status. And Wes Christian didn't tell anything about the flamethrower and his actions in this entity. But he mentioned that he and his firm filed plenty of subpoenas, and the majority of these subpoenas are still, he is awaiting the result from these subpoenas, and he didn't tell anything in particular in our MMTLP case. That is why I'm a bit disappointed about this space call. On top of that, Wes Christian mentioned that he also gave an interview to Junk Savvy about a year ago, and Junk Savvy just 7 hours ago wrote this tweet: must listen, 1 year ago this month, Wes Christian and I discuss MMAT, MMTLP, TRCH, market manipulation, the MOS, naked shorting, and much more. Thanks for the shout out on Melon's wealth space, Wes. And she refers to her own tweet. She put this link to her space call. It is a very long space call. It was it is more than almost 5.5 hours long. That is why I didn't listen to this space call, and I cannot tell anything about the position of Wes Christian and any other news related to this space call. But in general, I would say it is a quite good update because, as I mentioned, our main goal is to push our case as hard as we can, and in my opinion, the only path how we can do it is through litigation processes. But at the same time, guys, if we have more and more attention to our case, and we can attract these new people and these new eyes to our case by posting a lot of information in any possible social medias, and by making this type of interviews, definitely it is a very handful update for MMTLP case in general, because potentially about 15,000 people listened to this podcast, and potentially some of them might help us somehow in our problem. So, and let me show you the next update, as I mentioned, Wes Christian mentioned about the bigger problem of retail community, and let me show you another quite huge problem that was highlighted by Mark Basile. Mark Basile 11 hours ago wrote this tweet: another big blow to household investors and retail investors by the Trump administration. You really think the new administration is out to protect retail shareholders? And he refers to the article that was written by Bloomberg. SEC dismissals or dealer suits open door to more toxic loans. And one of the parts of Mark Basile's main cases is the so-called toxic lending programs that basically dilute shareholders, retail investors, and it is a so-called partially legal way to rob retail investors. And he also added, this was likely the most effective pathway to rid the public markets of securities violations that ruin companies through toxic funding. Thank God it is only a policy decision and not the law, because right now public company issuers still have the ability to seek rescission of these transactions before the stock gets clobbered, not only under the securities laws but also under RICO statutes. And guys, this tweet was reposted, was answered by Jennifer Vetrano. You know that she is one of our community members, and she has an active lawsuit against SEC. And let me show you some answers to this tweet, and Jennifer wrote, apparently Trump is evaluating whether or not to pardon P. Diddy. What are all these shenanigans? And Mark Basil responded, FUBAR. Guys, definitely you know what FUBAR means. And Jennifer Vitrana wrote, for sure. So guys, unfortunately, yes, we can still see a lot of problems in our stock market, and we see that the fight, the battle in general, and the war, I would say, in between the wrongdoers, let's put it this way, and retail investors is still evolving. And we have not only the actions from our side, but we have counter actions from our opponents. And yes, part of this activity is the people who are pretending to be retail investors, but who are trying to make some illegal actions inside the retail community. And let me show you this tweet that was answered by Jennifer Vitrana. She wrote 100% in response to Trader Zero tweet. And guys, I also agree for 100% with this statement. And he said, if anyone says there is no downside risk to a trade, a short squeeze is guaranteed, or states a price target of a short squeeze, they are proving to you in real time they are full of crap. And guys, no one has a crystal ball. This is 100% correct expression. No one has a crystal ball. That is why no one can tell for sure what will be the share price of certain asset within the next several minutes, days, months, or years. It doesn't matter. But if someone tells you that this certain trade, potential trade, might have 100% of win rate, guys, do not believe these statements, because it is just a misleading statement. And to my patrons and to my students, I always tell that everything can happen on the market, but the probability of these actions might be different. And yes, the market can go to zero in its entirety. We also have this option on the table, but the probability of this outcome is pretty much close to zero. That is why we have to keep this in mind, and we have to rely only on our own opinions, and we shouldn't base our investment decisions on someone's opinion in internet. So let me show you another, in my opinion, very important part of our retail community. It is the fight or the battle against the denials and FOIA requests. And guys, just yesterday I showed you this tweet of NBH MMTLP, and it was a denial of FOIA request, and the FOIA request was basically initial FOIA request was addressed to the person who made the basically order to protect all the details about the share price and FOIA requests related to MMTLP, to protect this information. And it is, in my opinion, quite interesting potential pathway how we can break this wall. And another person, Matt Lach, and I covered his actions just several videos ago. He also wrote this. Same thing going on with my responses from the SEC. And he added his response, the response that he received on May the 30th, and it is pretty much similar to the response of NBH MMTLP. And guys, I have to admit that the more FOIA requests we send, the more probability that the higher the probability of our success in this field, because we received the first FOIA letters back in March of 2023, if I remember it correct, accidentally, I would say. And these FOIA letters was extremely helpful for us in our litigation processes. And to be honest, if we have just a tiny chance to have another piece of this type of information, guys, it will be very useful for us, and it will give a huge upside potential in our general battle. That is why, guys, please keep sending FOIA letters to each and every each and every authority, to SEC, to FINRA, and ask different questions, make different statements, and well, ask differently, and potentially with some help of God we will achieve our goal. So let me show you another. Well, it is not the case, and I don't want to cover this information in today's video. I want to show you an update in one of our 1209 cases, and here you can see that on June the 3rd we have the new filing in Roller versus Securities and Exchange Commission case under the docket number 65. It is extension of time to file response reply to motion, and as you can see, I cannot tell you what is this response or the deadline is. Let me show you in Pace Monitor. You can find the same docket number that was filed on June the 3rd, and it is the consent motion for extension of time to file response reply in support of motion to dismiss docket number 63, a first amended complaint until June 25th of 2025 by Securities and Exchange Commission. So we have another deadline, and guys, we have plenty of the deadlines in our 1209 cases that are set this month, and we have basically each and every week is full of these deadlines, and we have to see more and more updates in our cases. You can see at the top of my screen a lot of tab folders, red tab folders. All of these tab folders basically refers to one particular lawsuit that is still active and that is related directly to MMTLP case. And it is not the full list, guys. I believe we have about 12 or maybe 13 active lawsuits. That is why, guys, stay tuned, and if you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just want